The Sabians of Middle Eastern tradition were a religious group mentioned 3 times in the Quran as a people of the book: the Jews, the Sabians, and the Christians. In the hadith, they were described simply as converts to Islam. Interest in the identity and history of the group increased over time. Discussions and investigations of the Sabians began to appear in later Islamic literature. Etymology. There has been much speculation as to the origins of the religious endonym from this practice. The Arabic root means to grow forth or rise out of. When said of a star it means to rise, which may explain the association with star worshippers. When relating to a religion it means one who left his former religion, and was even a title of Muhammad for not being part of his tribe's faith. From such a root, and in the context of the Quranic passages, it may refer to all people who leave the faiths, finding fault in them, but have yet to come to Islam. Related to the Hanif. Judah Siegel argued that the term Sabian derives from Shiva, the primary god of Hinduism. In the Quran briefly mentions the Sabians in 3 places, with hadith providing additional details as to who they were. Lo, those who believe, and those who are Jews, and Christians, and Sabians, whoever believeth in Allah and the last day and doeth right, surely the reward is with the Lord, and there shall no fear come upon them, neither shall they grieve. Lo, those who believe, and those who are Jews, and Sabians, and Christians, whosoever believeth in Allah and the last day and doeth right, there shall no fear come upon them, neither shall they grieve. Those who believe, those who follow the Jewish, and the Sabians, Christians, Magians, and polytheists, Allah will judge between them on the day of judgment, for Allah is witness of all things. Overview. Most of knowledge of the Sabians was translated in 904 CE from Syriac sources into the Nabatean agriculture. Maimonides considered it an accurate record of the beliefs of the Sabians, who believed in idolatrous practices and other superstitions mentioned in the Nabatean agriculture. Al-Biruni said that the real Sabians were the remnants of the Jewish tribes who remained in Babylonia when the other tribes left it for Jerusalem in the days of Cyrus and Artaxerxes. According to Esdras, these remaining tribes adopted a system mixed up of Magism and Judaism. Modern identification. 21st century scholars have possibly identified the Sabians as Mandaeans or Haranians. Jaco Hamin Antila notes that in the marsh areas of southern Iraq, there was a continuous tradition of Mandaean religion, and that another pagan, or Sabian, center in the 10th century Islamic world centered on Haran. These pagan Sabians are mentioned in the Nabatean corpus of Ibn Washir. The Sabians, who were pagans in the Middle East, were identified with 2 groups, the Mandaeans and the Haranians. The Mandaeans lived in Iraq during the 2nd century AD. As they continue to do today, they worshipped multiple gods, or light personalities. Quote, their gods were classified under 4 categories: first life, second life, third life, and fourth life. Old gods belong to the first life category. They summoned deities who, in turn, created second life deities, and so forth. A group of modern-day people based in Iraq call themselves Sabians and follow the teachings of John the Baptist. They are Mandaeans. They are more urban than other Mandaeans living in southern Iraq, which perhaps explains why they prefer to be called Sabians. Due to the faith, pacifism and lack of tribal ties, they have been vulnerable to violence since the 2003 invasion of Iraq, and numbered less than 5,000 in 2007. They primarily live around Baghdad, where the last sheikh resides who conducts services and baptisms. Many from the sect have moved from Baghdad to Kurdistan where it is safer. Citations